Hello, my name's Victoria Brazier. I'm delighted to be at One Tech World to talk to you today about the power of methodologies in delivering successful technology transformations. I'm going to share my screen so we can look at some pictures of my favorite methodologies. My talk is called The Art and Science of Successful Technology Transformations, and I've devoted my career to building up my technical expertise in doing just that. For me, working on technology transformations is like winning the ultimate computer game when it's successful. And my career in tech is like a computer game with infinite levels. I've spent 25 years in technology change and leadership roles, and I'm really passionate about tech as an enabler in life, education, and business. My vision is to create technology that works for people, and my mission is to be really good at specifying and delivering technology. I love the limitless learning and endless challenges in tech. So back to digital transformation. It's risky and it's challenging. There are some quite interesting statistics out there that demonstrate just that. So here we go. 61% of business executives recognize digital transformation as a top priority in their organizations. So it's really important. Spending on digital transformation is forecast to hit $3.9 trillion by 2027. It's really expensive and we're investing a huge amount in it. However, only about 1/3 of organizations meet their digital transformation objectives, resulting in up to $2 trillion of wasted investment by 2026. These are quite astounding figures, both in the size and the dramatic challenges in actually meeting objectives and fulfilling our goals when it comes to digital transformation. I always like to keep this in mind, and this is why I continue to try to develop my technical expertise as much as I can and pass this along to all the people and teams that I'm working with so that we can all get a lot better at making these digital transformations work. My idea is to become a complete master of my trade, and I know that methods make it much easier. So what is a method or a methodology? Why have I come to talk to you today about methodologies? To some, they might seem a little bit dry, but I think I've used them to transform my own career, let alone the delivery of technology transformations. So at its simplest, a methodology is a structured approach to delivering, or rather to achieving an outcome or delivering an outcome. My favorite methodologies that I'm going to talk to you about today are the software delivery lifecycle, used to specify, build, test, and deploy software. Agile, a software delivery approach, empathy mapping for understanding stakeholders, and strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, otherwise known as SWOT, to help you settle on your strategy. I spent many of my years in tech as an IT business analyst, and the great thing about methodologies are they're transferable. Every time I moved on to another project, I still had my toolbox of methodologies to take with me, and having tested them out on many, many different projects and scenarios, I was completely confident in them that they would stand me in good stead in the next project that I came across. One of the things that makes technology transformations so hard is that we have to orchestrate all the different stages, disciplines, skill sets that are required to deliver a large transformation all at once. And if we fail to do even one part of it successfully, it can lead to failure and failure to meet those organizational objectives that were so eagerly anticipated of the transformation in the beginning. I did use a touch of AI in delivering, or in planning actually, and preparing this presentation. So this is what AI said. Methodologies act as a compass in the fast-paced, complex world of technology, helping teams work smarter, adapt to challenges, and deliver value with confidence and precision. I do agree with that, and it was nicely put, so I just decided to take it how it was, straight out of the AI. But who wouldn't want confidence and precision? What's not to love? That was why I kept this sentence in here. When you're delivering technology transformations, that is exactly what you're after: confidence and precision, and a method to allow you to do that and to be assured in that what you're doing can be done with confidence and precision. So I say the science is to develop expertise in applying methodologies to manage people, process, and technology. And let's not forget data, because it's often forgotten at our cost. Enabling digital transformation objectives to be achieved. That's the science. But the art, really, and this is what I focus my career on, is the creative application of methodologies in a diverse range of scenarios to drive results. We begin to look at some of the methodologies now and see how they can be used, and moreover creatively used, in many situations to help better assure the outcomes of technology transformation. So this is the software delivery lifecycle. It looks simple, but actually it's quite challenging to do it really, really well. But it's a really powerful methodology. It has a focus on managing stakeholders, and not only managing them, but identifying all of them. As you go through each stage, risk is managed. If you know that it's very important to sign off and to have traceability from your requirements and analysis all the way through to the end of the process. And more than anything else, it's full of checks and balances. Every time you have a playback or a sign off, an agreement that the life cycle is progressing according to the requirements, and you have a lot of testing at the end, then that really helps to make sure that everything stays on track. I would recommend that you definitely apply all of those techniques. Otherwise, things may go awry, and worse than anything else, you may find out during deployment or even at the maintenance stage that something hasn't gone to plan and that you're left with something in live which isn't working as intended. It's not just about the software, though. Stakeholders are very, very important. In the analysis stage, it's very, very crucial to identify all of your stakeholders, and they will be many and diverse in a transformation. It's not just about the customer, it's about the employees, it's about everybody working in tech and working in the business. It could be about legal, operations, commercial people. There are so many stakeholders. It's really vital to make sure that you have understood who they are at the beginning and decided how you're going to involve them in this process. Validating assumptions is another one. During the analysis phase, some assumptions are sometimes made, and in other phases, but if by design they haven't been validated, that means you're transferring risk into the development, testing, deployment, and maintenance of that software. So it's a good idea to make sure that you know when to validate them. Understand the data. Software probably is only as good as the data flowing through it, and yet data isn't mentioned anywhere, usually in the software development lifecycle. So I'd like to think that we can still further improve on this methodology by making sure that we're always thinking about the data that flows through the software that we're building, making sure it has integrity, completeness, and everything else that goes with good data management. And then what about AI? The software development lifecycle, as it's shown here, isn't even really adequate enough to deliver on good transformations that involve AI. So it still needs to grow and evolve in that space to be better and better, just as our expertise in using it needs to grow and evolve and be better and better. With AI, we're challenged by managing bias, making sure it's ethical and gives reliable results. And the type of testing that we need to do and evaluations of those models is different to what we've been used to in the past with the software development lifecycle. So it's good to see that as technology evolves, we need to evolve our methodologies as well to go with it. I found this to be, of all the methodologies that I've used, the most powerful, and it's fantastic for helping coach your teams and for them to be assured in their roles. I usually work with my teams to get them to understand this life cycle straight away as soon as they start with me, and then over time make them really clear about where they have accountabilities in these phases, where they have responsibilities, where they should be consulted or informed. And this makes them very, very confident in understanding how they should play in at each of the stages. Another fantastic use of this development life cycle is when something goes wrong. So I've also used it, and this is where I talk about creative uses. You can apply methodologies in many ways. So for troubleshooting, this is also excellent. If something's gone wrong, or you've got a transformation project that needs course correction or isn't quite living up to the outcomes that you hoped it would, then the best thing in my experience to do is to look at where you've applied the software development lifecycle or delivery lifecycle and see how well you did at each stage. And usually by doing that evaluation, you can find out where your problems have crept in and you can deal with them. It's very clear what you're meant to be doing at each of these stages. So if you've skipped anything like validating your assumptions or not identifying all of your stakeholders and not testing and managing risk at the boundary of each of these phases, then you can see that may well have led to the problems that you're encountering. And by understanding it in that way, it doesn't usually result in a large blame culture, and also it's very effective in pinpointing where you need to take action. Agile. This goes well with the software development lifecycle. It's one of the approaches you can take to the delivery, and it's a very nice way to work. It values people. As you can see here, the team values are focus, commitment, courage, respect, and openness. And it has some really nice approaches that enable you to deliver value in a very friendly way, friendly to employees, friendly to the business. So it's really powerful and worth becoming an expert in how to do this well. You're working to current priorities, so it's an adaptable approach. You deliver incremental value, so there's more speed to market. There's lots of testing and learning as you deliver those small increments of value. And those failures are learnings that you can recycle into your next phases. And then with retrospectives, we have reflection and continuous improvement. So Agile really contains values and lessons for life. It creates productive ways of working and safe spaces to learn and grow. So if you haven't yet experienced working in Agile, then I can recommend it as a great way to experience delivering tech. Now, empathy mapping. I guess empathy could sound a little bit soft to some people, but this is an extremely powerful technique, which is incredibly underused. Stakeholders are complex beasts, and they have thoughts, feelings, things that they do and things that they say. And it's very, very rare in my experience to have seen this thoroughly unpacked and used to help keep everything on track. I've used it in many ways as well, creatively with my teams, I use it to value the product owners, who most of the time are beholden to delivery plans, and nobody really actually figures out how much they've contributed by everything they think, feel, do, and say. It's really effective in understanding customers and in understanding why or how employees are reacting to transformation projects. Here's a little example of how it could be used. This is a simple one, just for one small persona, but you can actually put in that center circle an activity, an event, and personas, anything you like really, and then explore how it's making people think, feel, talk, and act. It's really, really good for UX development as well, to understand how your users are actually reacting to your software and your designs for their user journeys. So this is a great one that you could add in, even if you knew the other two. This is a perfect one for really, really getting under the skin of your stakeholders, and it can really transform what you're able to deliver. And then lastly, we have the SWOT analysis. So this is a really good one for setting strategic direction. And it's balanced, which is really important, systematic, so that you look at all angles of the potential and strengths and weaknesses, threats and opportunities for any particular strategic goal that you might be thinking of trying to deliver on or plan into your future strategy. I'll just give you a minute to have a look at what we've got here. But it's really an effective way to make sure that you're not overlooking something or overemphasizing something else. I think with AI as well, this also could be a really interesting activity to try and apply this to some AI, and whether you should bring it into your business. Because with AI, it seems that a lot of execs are practicing fear of missing out rather than SWOT. So it would be really interesting to take this approach and see where you come to with it. So that's all 4 methodologies that I was going to talk to you about. I hope you've enjoyed thinking about them and hearing about how they can be used. And really, they're just ready and waiting for you to add to your own toolkits if you're not using them already. And really, I just want to leave you with that thought of how you can keep on growing your own skill set and improving your ability to contribute to the delivery of successful technology transformations by using these methodologies, and how they can support and empower you to develop your career and develop your abilities to succeed in the ultimate computer game with its unlimited levels. Good luck to you all, and I hope you found this useful. Thanks very much. Goodbye. Enjoy the rest of the conference.